Apple is known for being very secretive about its new products. Usually, these products are the next iPhone or a new and improved MacBook, but besides that, they're working on a completely new project. Apple is planning to build satellites and launch them into Earth's orbit. To do that, they'll have to compete with the biggest companies in the space industry, and especially with Elon Musk and Starlink. But other companies like Amazon, Facebook, and Google are also taking an important part in this spectacular space race. Before we continue, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Tech World. What do you think about Apple's new satellite project? Will they manage to turn this into a reality? Let us know in the comments down below. Apple is one of the biggest tech companies on the planet. From MacBooks to iPads and iPhones, their products are used by hundreds of millions of people in homes and offices around the world. The next Apple product, though, is not something you'll be able to take home to enjoy. Still, it's something to behold. According to a report by Bloomberg, the tech giant is working on a secret satellite project that could change the way we use our smartphones. In the future, we would be able to access the internet from space and surf the web from the most remote locations. Further hints have been made that the satellites may be linked to another new product, the Apple Car. The project is still in its early stages, and there's lots of speculation within and outside Apple over the direction the company will go with the project. Apple could reach this new goal by using already existing satellites, or enter into cooperation with other companies like SpaceX. However, this is probably not the approach that Apple is taking. The alternative would be that they develop their own satellite constellation to provide worldwide internet. To make this happen, they have to overcome some hurdles. Most satellites used in space for communication require a ground station to relay data to devices. But to do so, they would have to build a network of ground stations to reach every place in the world. This seems to be a bit too costly and would not really improve the situation in remote places, since it is not worth setting up a station there. But there are also companies like Link that work on satellites that can communicate with phones directly. If this technology is further developed, this could be a much easier approach. No matter which way they go, one thing is clear though. CEO Tim Cook is behind the effort, and this project seems to be a priority at the moment. The company wants the satellites up and running within the next 5 years, and they've already kickstarted the campaign in full gear. The most obvious giveaway to that fact is the number of notable hires that the company has done over the last few years. Apple has recruited dozens of engineers from different industries which come together to develop their satellite technology. In 2017, Apple hired John Fenwick and Michael Trella, two Google executives who led the search giant's satellite and spacecraft operations. At the time, no one knew why the two were poached and hired by Apple, but with the confirmation of the project, we now know that Fenwick and Trella are leading a team dedicated to satellites and related wireless technology. The team also includes notable people from the wireless industry. Engineer Matt Ettus, a pioneer in wireless technologies, Ashley Moore Williams, a longtime executive from aerospace who focused on communication satellites, and Daniel Ellis, a former Netflix executive with extensive experience building networks, are all a part of Apple's satellite team. From all indications, it seems like Apple is leaving no stone unturned in their quest to make their mark in this space. If the project is actually implemented, there will be some major improvements, especially for people in remote areas. With the satellite technology, Apple will be able to offer its own branded broadband to go with their devices. The tech giant has always been vocal about its plans to provide internet access in all regions worldwide. The satellites will be able to transmit data directly to cell phones, which would allow the company to cut ties with internet companies completely. It might not be long before we see Apple rolling out wireless plans for Macs and iPad users, especially in areas where there's limited internet connection. Apart from connectivity, the satellites would give Apple an upper hand with GPS technology. The company would be able to explore more precise location tracking for its devices, enabling improved maps and a host of new features. But that's not the only thing the company has in mind. In December 2020, Apple admitted that it's working on the Apple Car. As rumored, it will feature a satellite-to-car antenna powered by Apple's upcoming satellite. It's not the first time antennas would be added to cars, but with Apple's satellite technology, the vehicle would be connected to the satellites, making it easy to power functions like software updates, remote internet connection, and mapping for autonomous driving. Regardless of whatever direction the company chooses to go, they are certainly not doing it alone. One of the biggest companies in the space race, Amazon, is planning to launch a 3,236 satellite Project Kuiper constellation. The project is meant to provide internet service for subscribers and facilitate in-house data offerings such as Amazon Web Services. They have already started making plans to expand its Project Kuiper with new offices in Redmond. And they're not the only ones fighting for space in the satellite market. In 2014, Google acquired a company called Skybox Imaging for $500 million and then rechristened it Terabella. Through the company, Google owned a constellation of 7 high-res satellites that could provide Google Earth with far more crisp images than the fleet of 60 mid-resolution satellites the company already owned and operated. Even Facebook wants a piece of the cake. In 2019, the social media company confirmed that it had plans of launching its own internet satellite, Athena. According to an application the social network filed with the FCC, Facebook says the device is designed to provide efficient broadband access to unserved and underserved areas throughout the world. However, all of these companies have one company to beat: SpaceX. With Elon Musk, the company has continued to dominate in the space race for the last decade. Besides preparing for a flight to Mars with the Starship, SpaceX is also involved in another aspect of space. Its satellite entry, Starlink, aims to sell internet connections to almost anyone on the planet using a network of private orbiting satellites. With regards to scheduling and project progress, the company is also way ahead. SpaceX already has 1,500 Starlink satellites in orbit and plans to send 42,000 more within the next 5 years, making it the world's largest commercial satellite operator. But launching communication satellites skyward isn't just full of success stories. The satellite industry has a gloomy past. Many have tried to develop the technology and failed. In fact, the entire industry is littered with high-profile failures of heavily funded companies that launched fleets of satellites but ultimately failed to sustain themselves due to financial and technological challenges. For example, Iridium LLC filed for bankruptcy in 1999, and another firm, Teledesic, abandoned its Internet from the Sky plans in 2002. So yes, the satellite industry is tricky and mostly unfavorable for companies that have dived into it in the past. Still, if there's one thing we know, it's that Apple almost never delves into industries where it doesn't think it can make money. The fact that CEO Tim Cook has taken an interest in the project alone is also a positive sign that the company could dedicate a massive chunk of investment to make sure that the project sees the light of day. What do you think about Apple's secret satellite project? Do you think it's the next big thing or just another overambitious project? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Tech World. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.